Hello friends, James Stevenson here with a fresh chart I just made showing Tesla's revenue growth over the past 3 years. You know, the haters, the short sellers, the trolls, the skeptics, the Tesla Q generalissimos out there will tell you that the growth story is over and that Tesla revenue peaked years ago. Well, they're wrong. Tesla's most recently reported quarter set a new record for any quarter ever with $25.5 billion worth of revenue. And Elon Musk told Lex Friedman on his most recent 8-hour-long podcast that he expects Tesla to do more than $100 billion worth of revenue this year, which gives Tesla two more shots at breaking the all-time quarterly revenue record before the end of this year. Let me check you in with Loki, who has his back turned to us right now. You can keep an eye on Loki and the Loki's bed cam here. While I turn my attention to this tweet that I sent out a couple of hours ago, Tesla's automotive revenue grew more than twice as fast as any other top 20 global automaker from 2020 to 2023. Now, the word automotive here is important. We're not talking about total corporate revenue. So if you try to tie these numbers out against any of these companies' P&Ls, they may or may not tie, depending on whether that company has other kinds of revenue apart from automotive. So in Tesla's case, Tesla Energy and Services and Other division revenues are excluded from the number shown by the source, according to factorywarrantylist.com. These are the numbers. Tesla grew from $27 billion of automotive revenue in 2020 to $82 billion of automotive revenue in 2023, a 203% increase if you just take this number over this number, which is a 45% CAGR, compound annual growth rate. So if you take $27 billion and you multiply that by 1.45, and then you do that two more times, $82 billion is what you get. 45% average increase per year. The second place automaker of the top 20 from the year 2020 was Geely. Chinese automaker Geely grew from $14 billion to $25 billion, which is good for an 80% 3-year increase or a 22% CAGR. So Tesla's rates of increase more than doubled the nearest competitor. What's that look like if you put them all on a big chart? Well, I'm not trying to hide the numbers from you, and this is not a cumulative revenue chart. On the left side, these bars are the total revenue, total automotive revenue each of these companies reported in 2020. And we're comparing that against the right side, where these bars are showing you in 2023 how much revenue, automotive revenue, each of these companies reported. So you can see Toyota and VW have been jousting for, I think, a decade for the number one spot. Toyota had it in 2020, VW had it in 2023. Stellantis right behind them. You may not be familiar with the brand Stellantis, but you may be more familiar with brands like Fiat, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. All of those are Stellantis brands. Of course, Toyota and VW both have lots of brands under their big corporate umbrellas that all get included in these totals. And they're selling dozens and dozens of models each, these three big companies, to get, over $160 billion worth of revenue. If you're wondering in Excel how you get this beautiful slow change in color from one side to the other, I did it manually. I wasn't happy with any of the options Excel gave me, so I just went into the RGB settings for every single one of these, and I changed each series one at a time to make it gradually transition from a dark blue to a light blue. And I made Tesla's bars red, just so you can tell which one is the one that popped over the 80 billion mark from the right-hand side here. So 80 billion is kind of the dividing line in 2023 for the top 10 versus the next 10. So slots 11 through 20 had less than 80 billion worth of revenue, and slots 1 through 10 had more. But yeah, it's a pretty remarkable increase. Like, look how much of this bar the word Tesla takes up, almost the entire thing. Then look over here. There's room for you to put, you know, two or three other Tesla labels below this one and still, well, two, and still have them all fit because it was a 203% increase. So yeah, pretty remarkable. The thing that I mentioned in the follow-up tweet was, look at Subaru over here. Tesla went from an automaker about the size of Subaru to an automaker about the size of Honda. Honda went above the 80 billion mark between 2020 and 2023, and so did Tesla from what did I say? 24 billion, 27 billion. Yeah, pretty remarkable to see that much growth for Tesla. What else did I say here? Looking at the chart above, you can see it only took Tesla 3 years to grow from the size of Subaru to about the size of Honda, which includes Acura, by the way. Acura is a pretty big luxury brand. And Tesla will do over $100 billion in revenue this year. So where's 100 billion? About here, right? So Tesla's going to pass Nissan and Honda this year and start breathing down the neck of Hyundai, Kia, Genesis. You know, they've got a bunch of brands too for being a company this far back in the rankings. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're the 8th largest global automaker, and they've got all those brands, right? So that's my update for you. That's my fresh chart. Alexandra Mertz at Tesla Boomer Mama was in the comments asking, do you have the same for auto gross margin? No. This source, factory warranty list, doesn't have everything. They only have some things. They've got the automotive revenue you just saw that I used in the chart above. They also have annual units sold. They're calling that car sales by manufacturer. And they have quarterly units sold, which they call sales report. Thanks, folks. I am using their numbers for all of these. I didn't pull any of my own numbers. So if you object to any of these numbers, take it up with factorywarrantylist.com. And the other question I got from somebody was, hey, why isn't BYD on this list? Well, because it's automotive revenue, and about half of BYD's revenue in 2020, I think, was electric buses. They sold a whole bunch of buses to companies that needed to buy buses, and that shouldn't count as passenger vehicle sales because those are not owned by consumers. That's not the same market. That's a different purpose for buying a thing. Not a lot of folks buy a big electric bus to go get the groceries. All right, and that is my video. So with that, I will check back in with Loki to see that he has not moved from his spot. Before I remind you to click like if you liked the video. On YouTube, that's the thumbs up, and on X, it's the heart. So if you like this video, remember to give it a like. That helps the algorithm know to recommend it to other people like you who may like the video. And check out the links in the description if you would like to subscribe to me. I appreciate everyone who does, especially my executive producers, Kenty Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com, and I'll see you in the next one.